Ready? Hi, this is Mary. When Jesus first gave us this desire to look at, I was like kind of aware that the rage was involved, but pretty much denying there was any big problem or that it was really running my life. And we have spent some hours looking at this and looking at it as the light, looking at it to see the truth of how the ego mind was working. So I started out when I was looking at this, and Jesus was just showing me how much I love rage, and like it's a tool in my arsenal to protect myself. This was no great surprise. However, he was showing me how trigger happy I am. Like somebody does something to that goes against my preferences or what's okay, and I'm like, I'm ready to go to battle. So we looked at this for hours with Jesus. And what I'm hearing, although I'm asking, is this what I'm to say next? What I began to see was the dismantling of who I think I am. Let's see. What he was showing me was that I have created myself around rage because I want life to go a certain way. And I'm addicted to the perception, the stories, the sensations that I've made up about the way things should be. And so as we were looking more and more, and all of us were sharing, Kay was sharing, all of us were sharing what we were hearing from that inner voice. And there just was a greater and deeper awareness of how much I've embraced rage as a way of life, and so wanted to deny it. We talked about the image of a wolf in sheep's clothing, and that's how it seems my ego mind loves to operate. It looks good, it looks like a sheep, it looks benign, but underneath is this raging wolf, ready to devour anybody that gets in my way. So it's just very interesting in looking at a desire and looking at the wanting energy, not necessarily replaying the experience of, oh well, this happened and I was ready to take somebody on or whatever, where rage seems to manifest, but my wanting of that experience. And somehow, the more looking I did, the more Jesus was showing me we've heard these words before, but it was like a paper dragon. It looked really ferocious. It looked like it really had me by the throat. And I was just allowing it. I was just tolerating or putting up with this, thinking that it was okay, and not really willing to look at it up to this point in time. And it made a huge difference for me. It made a huge difference. Just being quiet and looking at how much I relished rage. It was like everything, everywhere. So it seems strange, but it just has, I guess I call it sometimes the alchemy of Jesus or Holy Spirit, that in ways my quote-unquote a logical mind would figure something out is not the way it works. It's not the way Jesus works. So as I looked at this more, the only way I could describe it is that first I was really putting on the brakes about wanting to unlearn everything I've learned. And Jesus talks about, Course in Miracles talks about the whole process of awakening or a recognition of truth is about unlearning everything I think I know. And I'm like, But the more we just sat and quietly looked and asked to be shown and listened, the more it began to fade away, and the more I could see that it was a paper dragon. And something else that's, so two other things, and hopefully I'll remember both of them. And Jesus was telling me that I like to listen to the loudest voice, and the loudest voice is the ego, or the loudest voice is the rage, or the loudest voice is the outrage. Somebody done me wrong, kind of thing. And he was saying, that's not the voice you want to listen to. You're so used to, I'm so addicted, Mary is so addicted to listening to that voice that the thought that there might be another voice, the possibility there might be a quieter voice that really has got it, really has the truth. It hadn't occurred to me. Okay, what was the second thing? The second thing is that something I've noticed, which is very unexpected, and ties in with the other thing I was talking about here, listen to the loudest voice, is that the Mary is so used to noise and drama and excitement and blah, 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 that when Jesus reveals something to me, if I don't ask him to help me remember, not only do I tend to underestimate what it is I've just seen and heard, but if I'm not careful, it tends to fade away. Now it seems to have it builds in a way that I can't even explain. But what I've noticed is the ego is so used to all this noise and hullabaloo that when truth is shown, I have to pay attention. I have to be very attentive. And the more attentive I am, the quicker and the easier it is to hear that quiet voice. This is a work in progress. So I am just so grateful. I'm so grateful for the guidance that was given to stop and be quiet and look directly at this desire for rage, the desire for the beast being that part of Mary identity that thinks it knows, that wants to rage and devour and doesn't want to be quiet. And there gets to be, and many of us have said this, with the releasing of this stored, suppressed energy, with the releasing of that, there just begins to be more and more a lightness of being. And it's also great for anti-aging. Thank you.
That's beautiful.